Hi, welcome back. So we would be touching basic of processing because as we know that we would be creating the entire Medusa logic with processing itself. So again, we would be moving to some parts of AI implemented with processing. So we need to know some of the basic parts of processing to get forward. Okay, so let's start with it. So what is a processing? So processing is an open source graphical library and integrated IDE that we say meant for electronics arts, mainly focused on say visuals or say what you can say like if you want to do creative coding. So it's there is a sketchbook where you can share your visual representations in the way of code. Very important tool because some people who are very starters to programming, they want to see like object oriented programming in action, so they can directly use this language. So how it interprets visually, you can directly see it. So how do you download processing? So for downloading processing, there is a way to access it. This is the link processing.org.download/download. Processing, very importantly, as you can see, it's available for Mac OS, Windows and Linux. Projects created with processing are also cross-platform and can be used on Mac OS, Windows, Android, Raspberry Pi and many other Linux platforms. So how do you go about it? So I have this link where you have the processing/.org download. You need to click on your particular OS that you're using. As I'm using Windows, you'll just have it. You need to click on this will get downloaded. I kept it over here and just you see like it was a zip file, and I unzipped it and it gave me this particular unzipped folder itself, where you have this processing application. You just have to double click on it and it would work on its own. So processing is built on top of Java. Okay, so similarly the programming constructor is very similar to Java itself. Okay, so let us just move back again. So we would download the processing from there. It would be a zip file. You need to just unzip it. Now processing in browser. So if you want to work on processing on browser, you will see something like that, open processing, where you can have your own sketches created, and there is this embedded like link where you have to just put in your code and you can run it. This was the code where I ran the Medusa. So if I just click on play, you will see this Medusa that I created. So this would be a goal for us, but we are breaking the entire series step by step because I want to show what processing is and how you can use it, default methods that are available for processing. Okay, so let's just go back again. So we are on the current slide. So default method for processing, we have the setup method. The method is called once when the program starts. So when you start the processing logic, you need to call this setup program. It is used for defining environment properties such as screen size. Very important, in which screen size you're working, you need to mention it, and load image fonts. So if you're dealing with different kind of images or fonts, you can use it. So there is a default method called draw method is called continuously and executes the line of code within it. It is generally used for shapes, text and sizes of images and to update the state of the program. Key press, like if you want to press some key on the keyboard, you need to just execute this method itself. Similarly, key release, so when you release the key, you can call in this method. Similarly, if you're doing some activity with mouse pressed activity, similarly it's mouse released. If you're moving your mouse, you can use this default method, mouse move, dragged. If you're dragging the mouse, you can do that. And if you're using mouse clicked event, you can use this, or mouse wheel itself. Okay, so let us just code. So as you can see, like when you just have the entire setup or the code part itself, you see like first of all we have the setup. So as I give the size of the screen to 700 by 600, so it would be of that size of the window itself. Now we'll have the white to draw, so you can have it like to execute it continuously. White key pressed and key released, mouse pressed, similarly mouse dragged, and there is a mouse event being called. So I have the processing ID opened up. In the meantime, so as you can see, like this is a ID that we are seeing for the first time. You will have this link. When you double click on the processing ID, it opens up in this way, and you can code over here. Now the important part over here is like if you want to change if I just click on this, you'll see that this is the size of the screen. Now if I want to change it, so I have to increase the length and breadth of accordingly to the screen size. So I will keep it, say 1900, and I give this to 900 itself. Okay, so if I just click right away, you will see the change of the length. Yeah, so these are the changes that's happening. Okay, so I'll stop the application. Now as you see, first of all, I did a setup over here. I have a draw method that draws a rectangle when we just fill the code out to be executed accordingly. It creates a rectangle, and as you move along, you will see that the rectangle is being created. If I press a key, so space bar itself, it would just empty the entire screen, and when I release it, the color of the background color changes. Mouse pressed, you see a circle being created with mouse press activity, and mouse release, draw a smaller circle. So similarly, mouse moved, it does change the stroke of the color, and mouse dragged, we are also just dragging the mouse accordingly. Click also, click is an activity, and mouse click, it finds. So every activity that you see would be printed, and with this println method you can just debug your code accordingly and see the output. So if I just open up the application right now, you will see like this is being created. Now if I just click, you will see rectangles being formed. I have change in color when I use the like the mouse wheel that is there. Okay, so you'll see like the mouse will move the commands that you will see over here. Now if I move the mouse, it moves, it says the mouse is moving. Now right click on it, it is another activity. Click creates triangle, and now if I just hit spacebar, everything disappears. When I release the spacebar button, it changes color. So these are the default methods that I've used for processing. I guess it has given an overview of how the things work. This is the part of the code, like if you want to execute the basics of it, these are the methods that are needed for your code to work. And as you see, like when we create the Medusa, we would be doing much more activities, so these basics are very much important. Thank you for being with me, and the voyage continues. Thank you.